Welcome to the Big Fat Real Estate Checks podcast with Marco Kozlowski, where we help investors like you get the knowledge and skills you need to replace your JOB with passive cash flow for life.
If anyone has ever told you that you need money or credit to make millions in real estate, it's complete bullshit. Needing money, a down payment, decent credit, or even years of experience is a myth. It's a big fat lie. A lie designed to scare you away from being wealthy, to scare you away from being financially free, to scare you into doing what you've always been doing, working hard, making someone else rich. Can you become a millionaire by working for someone else? I don't think so. Today, I'll show you exactly how to buy income-producing real estate for you and your family, regardless of your current economic situation. To not only replace whatever you earn now, but make as much as you choose tomorrow. I mean, you choose. You will have the power to make as much or as little as you want. How? By the end, this will be crystal clear. First, let's talk about how to make money. You can either work for money or have money work for you. Which one do you do? What's your behavior pattern now? Most work really hard and stay broke. Have no money saved for retirement when that time comes, and that's a terrible problem. That's what happened to my parents. It's terrifying. This is one of my big motivators to share these processes with you, a way out, a time-tested path and plan that actually works. So, what do the wealthy do? Well, they have money and people work for them, so they can have all the time in the world to do what they like: parties, yachts, golf, travel, enjoying the finer things in life, while they have others do all the hard work and heavy lifting for them. They get wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, have more and more time. You work harder, have no time, you're stressed, you get older and tired, and struggle just to get by. That's a tragedy. How about you do the exact same thing as the wealthy are doing right now, starting today? No bullshit. Now, if you really want a better life, and I mean really want lasting change, isn't it time you do something about it now? Because complaining about it never made anyone millions. Only action does. So, how do you replace the income that you work so damn hard for? Well, of course, by buying cash flowing real estate my way, using a very simple system that's going to be easy to follow. And again, you don't have to rob a bank to do it. More millionaires and billionaires were created out of real estate investing than anything else on the planet. And most don't do it for two reasons. One, fear, by not knowing what to do. It also stands for forget everything and run. Or two, a lack of money. Now, I can fix your fears by showing you exactly what to do and how to do it to get rid of the boogie monsters, and you're not afraid of the dark anymore. That's going to happen. But also give you access to all the money you'll ever need to take down properties. Now, there are billions available today that you can access regardless of your credit and buy as many cash flowing properties as you choose, which you'll see in a second. Now, before you call bullshit and dismiss this as a get rich quick scheme or a fly by night, been doing this for 20 years, and I'll prove to you step by step how this is as real as the nose on your face. I not only do this myself, but I help others like you take down apartments, mobile home parks, hotels, motels, and pretty much anything that has more than 3 units in one space, anywhere in the United States, using absolutely none of your own money, no matter where you live. In fact, most of my students live outside of the United States since they can't get financing in the US as a foreign national. Thanks to asset-based lending, which I'm going to share with you how that works in just a second. So anyone, I mean anyone, can get financed for a property in the US, especially you, regardless of credit. So let's take this step by step so you get it. Now remember, it's completely forbidden. I mean forbidden to use a penny of your own or risk your credit to buy anything in this process. Okay, is that okay with you? I sure hope so. Now, how many units does it take to buy your freedom back? You heard me, to buy your freedom back, to never have to work again, to not have to go to work because you don't need to, the money's coming in anyway. To make the money you need to take care of yourself, your family, month in, month out, without having to get out of bed every single day. Now, on average, doing this, you'll make around $200 in profit per unit per month after the expenses are paid. So if you buy a 3-unit, that's $600 a month, each and every month. Till you pay it off, sell it, donate it, lose it to your ex. I know how that works. Or, whatever happens in your life. Now, $600 a month isn't much, but it's a car payment. Would you rather work for your car payment or have someone else work for your car payment? Well, isn't that what the wealthy do? Have other people pay their bills? Shouldn't you? Now, $600 a month is a good start, but I think we need a little bit more. So let's talk about a 5-unit. If you buy a 5-unit, that's $200 a month times 5. So that's about $1,000 a month, a little bit better. How about we do more? How about $5,000 a month? Well, that's 5 times more than 5, so that's 25 units. Let's make $10,000 a month. That's 50 units. Take down 50 units, and you never have to work a day in your life again to make $10,000 a month. Now, when would now be a good time to start doing that? I hope you said now. Okay, Marco, I get it, but how the hell do you get the money to buy them without having to use my credit and having to use any money? Well, it's through asset-based lending. That is the answer. Now, what the hell is asset-based lending? Well, if you've ever heard of a car title loan or even a pawn shop, this is what happens. You bring in your title or property you want to get a loan on. They figure out what the value is and give you a loan on your property based on its value, They hold on to the car title, if it's a car, and send you on your merry way or hold on to your property. They don't give a rat's ass what you look like, how much money you have or don't have. They don't pull your credit or even care if you have any teeth. Simple. They hold the property until you pay them back. Don't pay, they own it. It's that simple. They, in fact, make way more money taking it back than on the interest lending you the money. So if you don't pay them back, they're really happy. You made them more money. Now, if you messed up and didn't pay them yesterday and they repossessed your possessions, can you still bring in something else and get another loan tomorrow? Of course you can, because it's an asset-based loan and they win either way. Well, that's exactly how asset-based lending works in the real estate space. With asset-based lenders, you can get up to 70% of the value, not purchase price, the value of pretty much any property over 3 units. Now, let me explain how all this got figured out and went down. I got to go back to 1999 when I first started figuring this shit out. Now, I was going through my first divorce. Yeah, my first one. I've had a few, learned a lot of lessons. But anyway, in 99, I was married for almost 10 years. Got married at 18, 4 kids by 24. Yeah, I do things pretty quickly. I was a stay-at-home dad, had custody of the kids, and needed to figure out fast how I was going to put food on the table, clothes on the kids, and gas in the car. As a college dropout, I was a concert pianist making less than $10,000 a year Canadian. I was broke as hell. I needed money so badly, but I didn't want to work for someone else, never seeing my kids. I love being there for them. I love being a dad. I refused to give up my time away in someone else's business. I knew that if I didn't pursue my own dreams, I would only work for someone that did. Now, that's powerful. I wanted to make money in real estate, like a lot of it, but needed access to cash. Not my own, but access. So I could finally buy as much real estate as I could and escape from the financial hell that I was in. Now, I don't know if you can even relate to financial stress, but it really sucked, and I had to escape it at all costs. I need to find out how I could borrow money to buy deals. Now in Canada, where I'm originally from, there are 5 banks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. All credit-based. 0 chance of getting any loans there. I had terribly shitty credit. But the US, there are 3,000 major banks, 8,000 plus secondary ones, and hundreds of thousands of private equity funds, institutions, private lenders that lend on different kinds of assets. They each have different rules. I want to find just one lender, just one, that would lend just like the car loan. I called every single lender multiple times. I'm talking thousands upon thousands of calls over months and months and months. It was painful. It was terrible. I sucked. I felt like I was going nowhere. It was frustrating. Now I changed the questions I was asking constantly, then called again and again and again. I kept at it. Failure was giving up. I didn't have a choice. I finally figured out the right questions to ask, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if what you've asked for is the wrong thing. Ignorance is very expensive. Now, through trial and error, not giving up, beating my head against the wall, just being terrified that I couldn't take care of my family week in, week out, month in, month out, and me facing an eviction for being way behind on my rent was very motivating. But I figured it out. I figured out how to get in the door on the first series of asset-based lenders. And here's a brushstroke of how that went. They would lend 70% of whatever the value of the property is. I'm going to say this again, 70% on the value of the property is based on cash flow and condition of the property, not the purchase price. So let me say that again, 70% of the value, not purchase price. So a $100,000 asset, I could borrow 70 grand. $1 million asset, 700 grand. So I had some conversations with these people. Well, what if I buy $1 million property for 900 grand? How much would I need to bring to the table? Well, they said, if we're buying it for 900,000 and we're lending you 700,000, since it's worth $1 million, we need 30% in equity spread. That's 200 grand. I was really excited, very excited. I wanted to continue, wanted to make sure I was on the right track. Well, wait a second, I said. What if I'm a decent negotiator and buy this $1 million property for 800,000? Then what? Long pause and a sigh, and I don't think they were very amused. Well, we'll bring you 700,000 since it's worth $1 million, and you'll have to bring the 100,000 or whatever the balance is to the table. Are you okay? I wasn't slow. I just felt like I won the lottery. Well, hang on a second. What if I were to find an asset that's worth $1 million all day long? I buy it for 700,000 because the seller wants out quickly because we just negotiated a great deal. What about then? And they were actually irritated at this point. Said, well, listen, if it's worth $1 million, we'll fund you 700,000 and you have to figure out closing costs because there are closing costs. I said, hang on, last question, I promise, and I'm out of your hair. All right, forgive me. What if I was able to get the seller to pay all the closing costs, roll those in, and pull out money for reserves just in case something went wrong with the property? So the closing is exactly 700,000. What then? There was a pause and a silence, and I thought it was game over. It was very uncomfortable. They said, we'll fund up to 70% or 700,000, period. No questions asked. Now, I was doing the pee-pee dance at this point after months of calling, emailing, and even faxing. Yes, faxing was a thing back in the late 90s, just like dial-up internet was. I asked about interest rates, specific criteria, and anything I needed to fund deals so I could give them exactly what they needed to get access to that money as soon as possible. And I mean access. This was life or death for me. I had to make this work. I asked them, how fast can you close once you have this bundle of crap that you need? Once you've done all your checks and balances, how fast can you close? Their answer, as little as 10 days. 10 days? 10 days? Oh my gosh, 10 days. I couldn't believe it. Then they said, we have almost $1 billion to deploy for loans just like these. And the more we lend, the more money we make. Whoa. This was like a financial orgasm. I understood this extremely quickly. These private lenders, these private funds had 30% equity cushion. So there's very low risk. All right. It already cash flows, low risk. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. These equity funds have a lot of cash. They need to use it, and they need to use it now. They need me, and guess what? They need you too. Bingo. I now had access to all the money I'd ever need to buy as many properties as I've ever wanted, and guess what? So do you. I just had to figure out how to find the right deals that they would lend on so I could get rich. Now, I'm not going to lie, at first it was really hard. In fact, almost impossible. Like finding a needle in a haystack. I need to find distressed sellers, not distressed assets like I was finding all day long. I hope that's really clear. Because if the property is a beaten up piece of shit, we can't get the money. Ask me why I found that out. Too many rejections. I need to find sellers that need it out right now without the place needing to be completely condemned or torn down or even burned down to the ground. People that wanted to trade speed for equity, just like the pawn shop customers. And finding good properties at 30% off was almost impossible until I figured out how. Another challenge for me to figure out, now that I have the money, let's go find the right deal so we can put those two together. Well, I not only learned how, but I learned how to create those opportunities whenever I wanted and as many as I wanted. That was another very painful learning curve for me. Now, cracking that code was so important, and I did. Again, I could find as many deals as I wanted and have as much money as I wanted. I really hope this is exciting you. In case you haven't connected these dots yet, it's extremely exciting. You can close within 10 days if you find the right deal. That's like having your very own cash, your very own checkbook. You're just not using your money, you're using a private equity fund's money with billions of dollars. All you have to do is find the right asset at the right price, put it together in a way that they need, which we have the checklist, present it, close, and make cash flow. It's amazing. It really is exciting. Would you like to find out exactly how to get more motivated sellers that will almost give their properties away? Would you like to see how exactly my students and myself attract insanely discounted off-market properties over and over and over again, just like a well-oiled machine, attracting great deal after great deal after great deal, and simply plugging into the available asset-based money sources to make amazing cash flow? But before we do that, we got to figure out why anyone would discount their properties. It's called the 5Ds. This is just one of the many ingredients I'll be sharing with you on this podcast series on how you too can be very successful as a real estate investor, how to take other people's money and find extremely discounted assets and put those two together. And throughout this series, I'll be sharing with you a lot of great information. On the next episode, I'll be sharing with you not only why folks will want to discount their properties in exchange for quick cash, but also how to find them. I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I did. See you on the next one.
If you like this episode of Big Fat Real Estate Checks, then show some love by leaving a comment and a good rating. Also, as a thank you for tuning in today, we've got a special free gift. The journey to passive cash flow for a life starts by finding deals, and it's easier than you think. Simply go to getdealsbytuesday.com, enter your email address, and we'll send you a free quick start course called Deals by Tuesday. Even if it's 11 p.m. Monday night, this course will show you how to find discounted real estate deals by Tuesday. It's that fast and simple. Go to getdealsbytuesday.com and start your journey toward life-changing cash flow today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.